Okay, so it's 12 o'clock and we are live. Hi, can you hear me okay? Looks like my bestie Nia showed up. Nini Dulce, go follow her. So for the readings today, the morning has been so good. You can kind of see you can't see the window, but like there's a lot of sunlight, which has been really nice. So maybe a little louder, we'll see. Good. I was talking a little softly, hopefully that works, but it's very sunny and not quite as cold as it has been. So it's been an amazing morning. How's your morning been? Let me know. So basically, I was going to use maybe a combination of decks today. Like I'm going to use my writer deck that the box is like falling apart, but I've been using that before. And I'm going to use my Poesis Oracle deck that I've also been using to clarify. I'm glad the day has been good, Nia, that's good. And then we're also going to do, I'll use maybe the Fountain Tarot for a reading or two so you can kind of see that. Hi, Coffee Cup, hello. Nice to have you here. We're going to do 3 sun, moon, and star spreads today. So, and because you're here on the live, hi, Drishti. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do 3 sun, moon, and star spreads, just how I have been doing on my channel. And when you see the reading, you have the option to ask a clarifying question, okay? And I am from the US, Coffee Cup. Where are you from? Yeah, where are we all tuning in from? Say, you don't have to be super specific, but say where you're from. Also, I just automatically opened the Fountain Tarot deck first. Oh, India, that's great. So what I like to do is I give them a little knock. I just wake them up, and then I give a little cutting of the deck. And then if you see my channel, you know that I don't take pop-outs, but I give a little shuffle. I'll do a spread and then I pull from there. So say namaste. Oh, yes, namaste. And I don't know what that means, Drishti, but maybe the reading will have some insight for you. And of course, if the reading resonates, great, and if it doesn't, don't. So, okay. Okay, so we have the sun position, moon position, and the star position. Oh, wow, okay. Okay, so in the sun position, what's being illuminated, we have the Page of Wands. That's what's being illuminated. In the moon position, what we're releasing, we have the Hermit. You can see that there. And then in the star position, your guidance forward, we have the Judgment card. So to me, this is about you wanting to start something new after a period of isolation, right? So I feel like with the Hermit card and what you need to release, what's been coming up for you maybe as you've been through a period of isolation, maybe self-imposed, or you've been going on a very inward journey and you felt like you've had to do it alone. And So with the Page of Wands coming up in the Sun position, you are excited to do something new. Pages tend to talk about, it's like they're almost childlike, like you can see a child on the card, right? So you're excited to do something new. You're very eager to learn, and the wands tend to talk about actions. So you are looking at your life, and in some area you are excited to do something new, especially after maybe a time period where the Hermit card talks about like going on an inward journey to learn something, not dissimilar from the Hanged Man. But this is like you're going on an inward journey, you climb to the top of the mountain to learn what you needed to learn, and then after that you have to come down the mountain and put what you learned into practice. And so you've already done the work, and now you're excited to put what you've learned into practice, right? Like you want to try something new. Look at how excited she is on the card too. This little girl, just like super duper excited, like charging ahead. And with the Judgment card in your star position, this is your guidance forward. This is such a beautiful card, by the way. I love this deck so much. But it's about waking up to a new way of doing things, right? Like there's some kind of wake-up call has happened, and you are wanting to live a totally different life. You want to do something differently, right? So I really feel like you learned a big truth for yourself. You learned how to do something with the Hermit card. You're wanting to charge forward in a new direction, and it goes right along with that Judgment card. Yeah. It's also kind of a big deal because you have two major arcana here. You have the Hermit and the Judgment card. That's a pretty big shift, going from isolation and introspection into I'm stepping out of the coffin. So on a traditional card, there are coffins and there are people waking up out of the coffins. But this is like not exactly a coffin that this person is waking up out of, but it's a really big shift, a really big shift. So yeah, let's go ahead and pull a clarifying oracle card for this reading. I don't really see anything else coming up for me, but this is wonderful. It's a, you know, I was just listening to this podcast last night about how if we let things happen and we just do the next right thing, all of a sudden a new perspective can come in, and we just grow exponentially, and we change how we act, and it's really wonderful. I feel like this reading is a little bit like that. You outgrew something, so you're doing something new, which is great. Oh, Coffee Cup, I see your messages now. It's not a game, it's a tarot reading, but it's fine. The, okay, let's pull one of these. We're going to pull this one. Did I just talk about growing, or did I not? We got the growth card, which is such an adorable card in this oracle deck, right? But You went on that journey of self-discovery to learn something. And right from the Hermit, your guidance forward is the Judgment. You are living a new life, a new way of being. And whatever this is about, you're very excited about it. You cannot wait to take action. I know this deck is super cute, isn't it? Yeah. And, but yeah, this is just a really big shift of growth happening, which is really beautiful, really beautiful. I also get like there's this, for this reading, there's this element of like fearlessness. Like this little girl looks super fearless. Page of Wands, she is so ready to go. And with the Judgment, waking up to a new life, a new possibility, a new perspective, there's like no fear involved. So, yeah, fearless growth. Fearless growth. With the Hermit, I should say you're not releasing what you've learned. You are releasing just the process. It's like going on a race. Like you go on the race, and then when you finish the race, you don't keep on the racetrack. It's like you get off, you go home, and you celebrate what you learned, or you say, wow, that was really tough. I need to do this thing differently that time, or next time you do a race, you know? So this is like, you're just releasing how you got to where you are in some way. So let me go ahead and I'm gonna use my Rider deck for the next reading. So that was reading number 1. We have 2 more to do. Let's see, so here we go. Okay. Give them a little wake up call. Give them a little cut. Okay. And remember, if and during the reading you want a card clarified, just ask. And we'll get a little shuffle. Maybe one more. Oops. If you're new here, remember I don't take pop-outs. Thank you. So I'll just do that again. One more. Perfect. Oh, these cards just spread so beautifully. Okay. We're going to do sun position, moon position, and star position. Okay. I feel like, well, let's see here. So in the sun position, we have the Wheel of Fortune. That's what's being illuminated. In the moon position, we have the Queen of Pentacles. That's what's being released. And in the star position, your guidance forward, we have the 5 of Swords. So I feel like there's something you're going to, like there's a change happening. And I feel like this is saying you maybe should just go for it. So what do I mean by that? With the Wheel of Fortune in the sun position, this is a major arcana card, right? So this is talking about like, there's a big shift happening, a big change in your life, or you are seeing a desire for change in your life, right? There's something happening where you're saying, wow, something needs to, like we need a big adjustment, right? This is not really scary. It happens to all of us. It can be good, it can be uncomfortable, it can be a challenge, it can be great, but there's just something is requiring an adjustment. With the Queen of Pentacles in the moon position, I feel like for you, this is saying you don't need to wait, or you don't need to maybe be cautious, especially, well, I'll get to the star position card in a second, but the Queen of Pentacles is very much a card of nurturing something and focusing on building something. There's also an element of creativity and like financial stability. And in the release position, I think she's saying you don't need to, just don't stay in your comfort zone. Like, I don't think you need to focus on, it's like Nike, just do it, right? Like, just do it. Because your guidance is the Five of Swords. Now, sometimes this is like a card of some conflict or, this person has won the fight at all costs. Like, you see that how kind of, this person has like a kind of smug look on their face, right? And these two people are like, wow, we got beat. Like, this person just whooped their butts. They laid down their swords, they walked away. And so this card being the guidance though, and again, with the change card, like you want to make a change. And I feel like with the Queen of Pentacles, you don't need to sit around and like cultivate something. I feel like this is saying you need to just go for it. Like, maybe this is a situation where you have known that you need to make a change for a while and you're like, but I don't know, like maybe this is okay. Maybe I can deal with this. Maybe I need to like, maybe I'll just wait it out. And this is saying like, I think you need to rip the Band-Aid off. That's kind of what this is giving me, is I think you need to rip the Band-Aid off. Maybe a little uncomfortable. Maybe other people will have their feelings hurt. But again, you want a change. You want the change, and it's your life. So as long as you're not like an asshole about it or something, live your life, do what you need to do. And if people's feelings get hurt, that happens sometimes. Like, you can be nice about it, but I think this is saying like you don't need to try to manage other people's emotions or try to make other people feel good for your situation, right? What do we think? Do we want to clarify any of these cards? The Wheel of Fortune, the Queen of Pentacles, or the Five of Swords? Or does that make sense? And if it doesn't make sense, that's fine. You can just leave it. Yeah, I feel like maybe I'll look at the bottom of the deck. Three of Swords. I said someone's feelings are going to get hurt, probably, didn't I? So maybe you want to cause a heartbreak, or maybe someone wants to cause you a little heartbreak. Doesn't have to be a relationship heartbreak, just something, right? You want to make a change. You don't want to sit around and try and fix the Band-Aid. It's like sometimes really changes don't feel good. That's sort of a cruel joke about life sometimes, right? It's like sometimes the good decision doesn't feel like a good decision. But ultimately, this is wonderful because life always works out in our favor. I'm going to pull a clarifying oracle card now. I don't take pop-ups, but thank you. Okay, let's see here what comes out for spread number 2. Okay, so we got the Child card. So what the heck does this mean in relation to this spread? I feel like with the change that you want to make, it's almost like I'm getting, this is about coming back home to yourself, right? Like you have the child card, and when you think about like as a kid, you were creative and you did what you wanted and you were learning and you had this sense of self that people didn't really. It's like sometimes, you know, when you're a kid, your parents or your caregivers are like, okay, well, maybe you gotta change a little bit to be in the world, right? And sometimes that's not helpful, right? Like sometimes we sort of squash our inner child, right? And so I feel like with this change that you want to make, and you're like kind of over it, you don't need to wait around for it anymore, and you're like, I just need to do what I need to do. And there's like maybe an element of discomfort involved, but this is taking you back to your inner child. This is taking you back to how you want to live your life, right? Yeah. And also, what did I say earlier about you not being responsible for other people's emotions? I feel like this might be related to something like you are a child in this situation, like you're not actually responsible for other people's emotions in this situation, right? You're responsible for your emotions, your life, your situation. You want to make the change, you're gonna do it, go for it. And you're like, you know what? I am not the parent in this situation. I'm not responsible for how those people are going to respond to me taking care of myself. That's a really powerful place to be. And again, when you make changes for yourself, and if that causes discomfort to others, I'm not saying you can just go and be rude about it, but you are not responsible for other people's emotions in this situation. Wow. Wow, okay. Is there anything else coming up for this spread? We have... yeah, it's like a return to your innocence, almost. It's a return to your innocence. Wow. Yeah, I don't think anything else is coming up for me for this one. Okay, we're going to put these cards back. We're still under 30 minutes, and I said I was going to do 3 spreads, so maybe I'll do 4 or 5 if they keep going slowly and no one has any clarifying questions or anything. That's fine. I'm going to use the Rider deck again. It's in my hand, so we are going to do spread number 3 for this live reading. Sun, Moon, and Star spread. Again, if you're just popping on, thank you. But the you will get to ask a clarifying question or ask for a clarifying card for the spread if you want to. Let's see what we have here. Okay. So we have this Sun position, Moon position, and the Star position. Wow, all major arcana. Okay. Okay, so this is interesting. In the Sun position, we have the Empress. This is what's being illuminated. In the Moon position, we have the Chariot. This is what's being released. And in the Star position, your guidance forward, we have the Hierophant. Okay, so with the Empress in your sun position, what's being illuminated? You want to be really creative about something. You want to be abundant. You want to be receptive and just really vibing, right? Like she's sitting on this lovely little chaise in the middle of the woods. She's got water flowing, her scepter, her stars, great clothes. Like she just is a goddess, right? And some area of your life you want to embody that, right? Now, with the Chariot coming up in the moon position, what you're releasing is you're wanting to release this rigidity to your personality, right? Like this is a card of like figuring out how to be in the world, and you're like 1 + 1 = 2. That's what I know to do. Done. And you've figured it out. So, but when that happens sometimes, especially in creative processes, when you want to be creative or you want to be abundant, sometimes like the mental personality or the mental construct that you have of yourself is not helpful. Sometimes it gets in the way. So you want to release some aspect of your, whatever you think of as yourself, you might want to release it a little bit. And your guidance forward, the star position, is the Hierophant. Hierophant talks about putting structures in place that support you. Traditionally, this card was like the Pope, and it can refer to like religious or educational institutions. So it's like you are wanting to, like your guidance is like, what structure can you put in place for either your spiritual development or your educational development, or any sort of learning process? Like what do you want to, or what do you need to put into place that supports you? And when you put something into place that supports you, whether it's, you know, your education or your spiritual development, or even like your finances or your work, what do you want to put in place that helps you embody the Empress card, right? Like what helps you feel abundant, what helps you feel successful, creative, divinely inspired? What's going to help you get there? And again, it might be you might have to let go of something you thought of as like yourself. This is, again, it's a big shift because we major arcana, the Empress, the Chariot, and the Hierophant, it's all major arcana. So this is a big shift of you figuring out how to support yourself to be your most abundant, creative Empress energy, right? Do we want to clarify anything? Let me look at it this way. I don't really know exactly what this might be about. So let me look at the bottom of the deck. Page of Pentacles. Yeah, it might be about a work thing. Yeah, I feel like with the Page of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, and we have like creative energy and something to support your spiritual energy or your education. I feel like it's related to your work a bit. Might be related to something you want to cultivate, right? And it might be something new. Maybe you're starting something new where you're saying, I need these qualities. And, you know, a lot of times when you grow, you have to let something go, right? You have to expand your horizon. Wow, okay. Let's pull a clarifying oracle deck, from or for this spread number 3. So let's see here. Spread number 3 today. Yeah, this is going like a little bit faster than I anticipated. I somehow thought that maybe each spread would take me like 15 minutes, not like 10. So maybe I'll do 1 or 2 more. Okay. For this spread, we are pulling the Give card. So let's see. What does this mean with this spread? I feel like with the Give card, it's talking about, I feel like it's related to the Empress. It's like you have to give what you want to get. Yeah, you definitely have to give what you want to get. And I feel like with the Chariot, again, the Chariot talks about like in the release position, it's like you're wanting to you need to release some kind of a trait of yourself, right? So it's like you have to give yourself space. You have to give yourself space. And you have to give yourself, you have to give yourself a habit, like a helpful habit. You have to give yourself a helpful structure. I remember someone once said, how you build trust with yourself is you keep one small promise to yourself every day. It could be like drinking 1 glass of water when you wake up in the morning, or something like that. Just one small promise to yourself helps you build trust. So if you, you have to give yourself what you want to get. You have to give yourself what you want to get. And again, if this is like work related, right, with the Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, you want to feel abundant. You might have to let go of some aspect of yourself, but you're also trying to put a structure in your place, or put a structure in place to support this process for you. You really have to give yourself time, TLC, attention, like take stock of what you need and give it to yourself, and then give it to others, right? If you're giving yourself space and grace to grow, to do something new, to make a change, you got to give it to other people too. And then it just creates this really abundant feedback loop for yourself. It also tells the universe that you're serious. Like if you're giving to others what you want to give to yourself, universe really responds to that. Is there anything else to say about this? Yeah, with the Chariot, I feel like it's just really releasing rigidity. Really releasing rigidity. Might be mental rigidity, emotional rigidity. Just really soften. Okay, let's put these back. It's only 12:34, so I am going to do at least 1 more reading. We're going to see. I'm also going to do the Fountain Tarot again. I can already tell I'm going to do 1 more reading after this. So we'll do 5 instead of 3. I'm also thinking about doing a live stream every Friday. So that's fun, because Friday right now I have a pretty open schedule. So I'm excited. I will do this again. Okay, let's... Okay, we're going to do the sun position, moon position, oh god, MV star position. Oof. Okay, you gotta hang on tight. You gotta hang on tight. So we have the Ten of Wands in the Sun position. That's what's being illuminated. In the Moon position, we have the Knight of Cups. I love this Knight of Cups card. So it's being released in the Moon position. In your Star position, which is your guidance forward, we have the King of Cups. So, all right, Sun position, this is what's being illuminated. We have the Ten of Wands. This is saying you're getting very close to the end of a cycle, but you are carrying all the things right now. Like, you're carrying so much. You're carrying so much that you might not even see where you're going, and you might feel burdened and like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I don't know how this is even happening. With the Knight of Cups in the Moon position, this is talking about you kind of have to release some dreaminess, like some stillness, some getting lost in the sauce. Like maybe because you have so many burdens right now, you feel very bogged down emotionally. And so you need to figure out how to release this buildup of emotions, right? Like you're so close to the end of whatever cycle this is about. And so just try to not get too lost in the sauce, okay? Especially with the King of Cups as your guidance forward, which this is a great, I mean, God, I love this card. But King of Cups talks about being in the emotional water, but not being overwhelmed by your emotional water, right? This is about finding a sense of calm in the storm. Finding a sense of calm in the storm. You can see he's sitting on his throne in the water, but the waves are not bothering him. You can even see this wave crashing up on the throne behind him, and he looks very he's like smiling, he looks chill, he's just got his legs crossed. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by your burdens right now, and you feel like emotionally almost overwhelmed, it's like your guidance is, how can I feel the emotions but not be overwhelmed by the emotions? Can they come up and can I let them go? Can they come up and can I let them go? Okay, do we want to clarify any of these cards? Ten of Wands, Knight of Cups, King of Cups. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. That's fine. I'm going to pull a clarifying oracle deck or oracle card from my deck at any rate. I feel like you know what this is about anyway. Yeah. So let's see what comes up from this. I'm going to do a little spread. Okay. All right, so we are pulling. Yeah, this is definitely emotional. We got the Rage card. So if you're feeling lost in the sauce, you have to blow off some steam. This burden or this, you're like so close to the end of the cycle, you're about to get home, and you might be feeling it. You just really might be going through it, but you are so close. 10 of Wands means you're about to reap what you've sown. And you really just gotta like blow off that steam. I mean, yeah. And with the King of Cups, it's like all about, again, you feel the emotion. You feel the emotion, you feel the rage, you feel this I mean, volcanoes are overwhelming, right? Like, my God, look at it. It's terrifying. But you have to really just let it come, let it go, find a sense of calm in the storm. Yeah. Find a sense of calm in the storm. Okay. So it's been 41 minutes now. I will do one more reading. And I was going to use the Rider deck again, but I changed my mind. We're going to do the last reading with the Fountain Tarot. So this is Sun, Moon, and Star spread number 5. Again, if it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, leave it. You know what to do. You know how to be. And here we go. Okay. Okay, we have the Sun position. We have the Moon position. Oops, 2 cards came out for the Moon position. I will take them. And we have Star position. Oh my God. Okay. All right, so okay, so in the Sun position, what's being illuminated, we have the 7 of Cups. The 2 cards that came out in the Moon position are the Fool and the 9 of Swords. Wow, that's what's being released. We're releasing those 2 cards. And in the Star position, your guidance forward, we have the Queen of Cups. Okay, so let's talk about the Sun position card first. This is what's being illuminated with the 7 of Cups. In some area of your life, there's a lot of options being presented to you. You might be saying, I don't know which way to turn. I don't know which decision to make. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what's the best option. With the Moon position, what's being released, the Fool and the 9 of Swords, you are freaked out about something. You're feeling a little bit scared, and you're afraid of repeating a cycle that's scary, right? So again, with 7 of Cups, you want to make a decision. You're not sure which decision to make. You're afraid of making the wrong decision. And with the Fool also, because 2 cards came out for the Moon position, what's releasing, this is saying you need to release the urge to take a leap. I think that if you are uncertain about which decision you want to make yet, and you're freaked out about, like, you're afraid you're going to make the wrong decision that's going to make you repeat a cycle that's kind of not great. And the Fool also came up saying, in the Moon position, it's like, release the urge to rush, right? The Fool talks about, like, making a big leap, going for it, caution to the wind. So you are releasing that energy. And that's definitely coming up with the Queen of Cups, because the Queen of Cups is saying, first of all, she's the most grounded cup card. On a traditional deck, she has 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the land while she's sitting on her throne. And so she is like grounded in reality and emotionally grounded and very intuitive and very nurturing, right? So does she have a cup on the card? So in this deck, there are kind of like little bowls, but she does have a little bowl or cup in front of her. And she's very focused on creating her reality from this emotional balance, this emotional wellspring, this intuition, right? So this is saying you're like maybe overwhelmed with options and you're like, I don't know. Like, look at her face. She kind of doesn't look very certain about which cup she's going to choose, right? So your guidance, if you really like, you are releasing, rushing off and making a less than desirable decision, your guidance is to wait a moment. Your guidance is to see, how am I actually being emotionally fulfilled by this? Like what does this look like in real reality? What's my intuition saying, right? You're taking a very balanced approach to this decision. And I think this is really good that the Nine of Swords and the Fool came up in the Moon position, because you're releasing this rushing energy, this rushing toward destruction, rushing toward a nightmare, right? You're releasing that. So with the Queen of Cups, what you need to do is say, how do I nurture my reality? Like, pay attention to my emotions, but also be in the world. And with the sevens, again, I feel like sevens in the tarot kind of talk about patience sometimes. This isn't the Seven of Sword. No, whoa. This isn't the Seven of Pentacles, but I'm getting Seven of Pentacles energy on this card, where it's like you're overwhelmed with options, so you need to like be patient a little bit. I want to look at the bottom of the deck just to see what this is. Yeah, Two of Coins. It's a decision, right? Like you're like wanting to, you're like, how do I stop? Like, what do I choose so that I stop this up and down energy with the Two of Coins? Let's go ahead and pull a clarifying oracle card. Perfect. Okay, so let's do a little spread here. We got the Union card. It's talking about the Queen of Cups. You need to unite your emotional, internal state with your grounded reality. And how you do that is by taking time to see how they marry together, right? Like, you need the decision that you want to make, the decision you're unsure about, is going to be the one that helps you stay grounded and is emotionally fulfilling, but also practical in reality, right? So you're going to ultimately make the decision that unifies sort of the inner and the outer for you. That's what the Queen of Cups is really about. Ultimately, she's unifying both sides of her brain almost. Okay. Wow. Okay, this is really wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. It's about 12:50 or about to be, so this live stream is now done. And I really appreciate you being here. Thank you for the likes and the comments. And when this is uploaded, it'll be private, but then I'll make it public after it's done uploading. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great rest of your Friday. And again, I plan to do another live stream probably next Friday. I think I'll do them on Fridays for a bit at 12 p.m. So have a great rest of your day, and I will see you soon.